Welcome, everyone, to the Sickos Committee podcast. This is our podcast for the evening of December 3rd, 2023. We are post-conference championship weekend. We are in a post-playoff knowledge world. We have lots of things to talk about, I think. Some good, some bad, some that are going to require some feelings. We're going to work through some things in real time tonight. As always, my name is Jordan. I'm here with Commish, Pitt Girl, Beth, and our special guest, Catherine. Catherine, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you, Jordan?
I'm hanging in there. Catherine, what do you do that you are on here with us? The most vague question.
Sure. It's a great question, a fair question. So I am a freelance editor for the college football vertical at The Athletic. Big college football fan my entire life. And I wound up creating sort of a random little niche following in the comment sections of The Athletic's college football articles and kind of really any article that I thought was particularly of note. And so in a previous life, I was also a corporate finance attorney in Dallas, Texas. And when the time kind of came for me to think about what I wanted to do next, I figured, well, the folks at The Athletic know me and I really like college football. And so let me just sort of reach out to them and see if we can get something set up. So kind of learned the ropes here.
Nice. Where do your allegiances lie then?
So I grew up an LSU fan. Okay. I attended LSU football games since I was 2 years old, roughly. And then my little sister decided to go to Notre Dame. God knows why, but she did. And so we are a loyal bunch, and I decided to start supporting them as well.
Okay. And who are your favorites who are your like hipster favorites?
Good question. Let's see. So I am a Southern girl over Grambling, generally supportive of most of the Louisiana schools. LSU Eunice was not far from my hometown and had a thriving baseball program, kind of a feeder program for LSU, actually.
Oh, nice.
So those Bengals also have a place in my heart.
There you go. Well, we're happy to have you and to be on to talk about Lord knows what this evening. Beth, how are you doing?
I have a voice, so Woo-hoo! We're doing great. This is much better than last week.
Your voice is lower pitched than mine, but I think that's usually how it is. I think you're a little more basso than me, but that's okay.
I'm lower than usual right now, but it's present, which is very exciting. I welcome my new contralto.
and as always, I'm a nice lyric tenor, you know me.
Mm-hmm.
Hey girl, how are you?
I am good. It is happy December. Because it's December now. So that's cool. Yeah, I have my Christmas tree up and we are advancing into both bowl and holiday season as the linear passage of time does sometimes.
Commish, how are you, sir?
I'm good. Had a nice weekend. Very relaxing weekend, I would say.
Nice.
Didn't really do much, which was great. I didn't have to coach the soccer team. We didn't really go too many places. I mean, dealing with the two kids is always a hassle a little bit, but otherwise we're good. Added some more Christmas lights to the house and going to continue adding Christmas lights throughout the whole season just to keep my neighbors on their toes to figure out why does he keep adding more and more lights.
Okay. My Halloween Bucky came down today and it was not of my own volition.
Oh no, what happened?
Alana took it down.
Obviously.
Oh no.
Alana took it down.
She took down the Halloween Bucky?
She took it down. There's now a T-Rex with presents in its teeth, which is cute. But I had Halloween Bucky up there for a reason.
But it doesn't beat my inflated gator.
No, of course it's not going to beat that. Gator. It's not 6 foot long.
A 9 foot long inflated gator.
What? I'm sorry, 9 foot long inflated gator.
It's nice.
Well, I think as much as I don't want to talk about this fucking sport has driven me to talk about this. Let's talk playoffs, y'all.
No, man. Look.
Do we have to?
Look. When it happened, like when the news broke of the number 4 team.
Yes.
When they'd selected Alabama
Well, hold up, because I know there are people that only consume college sports through us. So let's be very clear what happened here.
Okay, just
We want to explain what the playoff
we
is.
gotta explain the playoffs because we don't really.
First, God created the earth.
Yeah, there's a 14 college playoff, and
So this sport actually does attempt to award some sort of championship.
and there are teams in there that you may not have heard us ever talk about before. So let's talk about those teams.
Yeah, I didn't realize we had to we do have to do that because we get replies. Like we just follow this sport through you, and whatever you say, we just follow.
As the person from the Normie publication, do you want me to handle a little bit of intro for the Normie playoffs?
Yes, go for it. Yeah,
That's probably why you're here. I think that makes the most
Yeah,
sense.
no worries. Okay, so typically the college football playoff, you have the top 4 Power 5 teams. Typically, those Power 5 teams are from the conference champion pool. Now, there's an initial problem in that there are notably 5 power conferences and 4 spots in the playoff. So someone is always going to be left out. In this instance, the team that was left out was Florida State, who was undefeated, wound up winning a fantastically gritty, defensive forward, kind of terrible offense in the rain conference championship game against Louisville, but notably was using their 3rd string quarterback, not their backup, their 3rd string quarterback, because their starting quarterback had broken his ankle, I believe. Their 2nd string quarterback got a concussion in the game against Florida, and for the conference championship game, they were reliant upon a true freshman quarterback named Brock Glenn. Now, Florida State, as noted, undefeated. 2 teams with losses were instead placed into the playoff over Florida State. The first of these being the Texas Longhorns. Perhaps the listeners will have heard of Texas, who's to say. They wear the color burnt orange. They're a little bit obnoxious, but generally a good football team.
That's fair.
They may or may not be back.
Yeah.
You know,
they may or may not be back. It's always a question. Who's to say?
They are in possession of a cow.
You have a beautiful cow.
And the cow's a good boy. His name is Bevo. But yes, so Texas had 1 loss, but they were the Big 12 conference champion. Alabama also got in. They had 1 loss. They were the SEC conference champion. So wherein lies the trouble here? Well, the trouble lies in the fact that Texas had beaten Alabama in week 2 of the regular season. And so for God knows what reason, the committee must have thought that they had to have Alabama in there and they had to have Texas in there. And so they threw out Florida State because through no fault of the team's own, and their defense is incredible, by the way, the defense is the strength of that team, their quarterback got hurt. And in a sport where we emphasize team over individual, next man up, the committee just decided we'll throw that away and we will instead put Alabama in because God forbid the SEC miss a playoff. I'm annoyed.
Oh,
We should note that the committee in question is not us. Believe it or not, we don't set this playoff. I don't understand it either.
I had to defend that. It's like the committee has a tough decision. I'm like, oh, not us. We're fine. We're going to sleep good.
we let the voters decide.
No, vote in our poll. But yeah, it was.
If Mike Pence had the courage, they could have seated an alternate committee last night.
They could have.
I could have solved the problem.
They could have put us in charge.
Mike Pence had the courage.
I mean, we would have definitely, ULM would have made it.
This is why an oligarchy is just not acceptable. We have to have democracy. That is just what we need in this world.
Mm-hmm. I'm so close by. I'll tell you, after I was so tired last night, I fell asleep during Big Sky Shin, whatever we're calling that.
Big Sky Bangers.
Big Sky Bangers. That's right. And otherwise, I would have gone over to Grapevine because I want to know how the vibes were because I assume the vibes were just horrific around 10:30 last night over in Grapevine. They have a nice little hotel they stay at, though. The Gaylord Texan's really cute.
Yeah, but they're still sitting in like the weirdest possible chairs and they don't have snacks. Like, what are they doing when they watch the game?
So here's the thing. They do have snacks. Earlier, like I think it was maybe like 2 or 3 years into the playoff, it might have been Sports Illustrated, but someone wrote an article about everything available to the committee while they make their selections.
Ooh.
Y'all, they have bacon on tap. They have off to the side, not in the pictures because they don't want people to be mad, but they have bacon just sitting there if they want the bacon. They have other snacks. They have coffee, they have alcohol, they have like sundry different options as far as food and drink goes. And they get to watch football. They get to watch commercial-free football. They get to rewind, fast forward. They get all the stats that you could ever want in your entire life. And they still put Alabama in over Florida State. It's infuriating.
I mean, this is kind of making me want to serve on the committee.
Yeah, no,
Listen,
hey,
Look, those chairs that they have, except the one guy that showed up late and he got like a normal chair. Those are
the poor conference
those
chair.
are some really good. I mean, you got bacon on tap. That is like a nap recliner that they're watching the games on. So I mean, they could have fell asleep in a little bit.
Oh, the best! Can you imagine committee naps? The best naps. It's it's 4 PM and you're watching like fucking Iowa. And you just get to take a nap during it. Oh my god!
Take a nice nap during Iowa, Michigan. Tell you what.
I also took a nap during that game.
I was really good at naps.
That was normal. That's normal Iowa. That's not a nap.
I
They were
think
awake.
it was Holly Anderson who said like something along the lines of, "How dare you make me feel bad for Florida State?" And that's about where I'm at.
Yeah.
Like, how dare you? I don't want to feel bad for this team.
As
I
the
lived through
committee's-
the 90s. It shouldn't be possible for me to feel bad for Florida State.
as the committee's ACC representative, also Arthur, hello. The fact that the fact that I am caping for FSU, the fact that I feel bad for FSU, the fact that I am angry about an injustice done to FSU tells you how fucked up this all is.
I feel
And like, why are we playing the games if it's just the committee going to be like, you know what, FSU has a bad vibe, I don't like them.
but time out. Playing the games does matter for some teams because there was a team in this country who went 13-0, and because they played their schedule, the 131st toughest schedule in the country,
133rd,
133rd,
dead last.
No, Boo Corrigan said that
Dead last.
the year metric. No, some metrics had it different. 131-ish maybe, but
It was 133rd.
But theirs is okay because they played the games and they won out.
On that note, I would
Square
like
that
to
shit.
take a moment to shout out the fundamentally unserious guy I had in my mentions last night who was like, so if you think 13-0 FSU should get in the playoff even though they're going to get launched into space, you must also think that 13-0 Liberty should be in the playoff. And I was like, dude, really? You and I both know that this is not on the level.
Yeah. Well, and it's just like, and I can make argument after argument. We'll never know the results. But the fact of the matter is that it was infuriating because the committee was acting as if Florida State, even without Jordan Travis, who, by the way, was the quarterback who had broken his leg, fantastic young man, had an incredible tweet. Just heartbreaking stuff for him.
That tweet got it.
Because he said, and just to give a snippet, but he said that I wish I had broken my leg earlier. Not that he wished he had not broken his leg. He wished that he had not broken his leg earlier in order for the team to be able to showcase how good they were without him. Mm-hmm. And if you, I just got chills saying that out loud, but it's just something to emphasize that not only are we talking about FSU as a fixed point, as if last night's admittedly not very good offensive performance would have been the status quo. It's just giving the elements of the team that are quite good and that I think would be competitive no matter who they were facing. Because I will note, FSU held LSU to 24 points.
Yep.
Jaden Daniels had far and away his worst game of the season against this defense. And Jaden Daniels does not have bad football games. And so I think just to put a cap on it, and by the way, Michigan and Washington also made the playoff. I hadn't mentioned that earlier. But Florida State should have been in after a month. Tate Rodemaker, the backup, could have been the head of a functional offense. It is a travesty. That is also a pun. What a shame.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah, thanks.
Jason Kirk suggested that basically the explanation for leaving Florida State out by the committee could have been written by AI. So I did throw in the Chat GPT
Can you read what ChatGPT
Oh, I'm
said?
going to.
Okay, do it.
I'm going to.
Yeah.
This is what I asked in the style of a press conference answered by the College Football Playoff Committee. Defend leaving a 13-0 Florida State out of the playoffs. Quote, ladies and gentlemen, the College Football Playoff Committee carefully considers various factors when making playoff selections. In the case of Florida State, while their 13-0 record is impressive, the committee prioritizes overall strength of schedule, quality wins, and performance against top-ranked teams. The committee believes that other teams demonstrated a more robust and competitive resume, leading to their inclusion in the playoffs. Tough decisions are inherent in this process, and the committee is committed to ensuring a fair and comprehensive evaluation of all teams. That's basically what they said. Just as much nonsense and just like wishy-washy garbage.
Can you rename AI Boo?
My AI Boo.
Yep. I mean, anytime I look, I'm old, all right? Anytime I see...
Yeah, you are.
That's right. Thank you. I am the oldest one probably on the podcast, Catherine. I'm not going to even bother to ask you. I'm the oldest one on the podcast.
If she and Pitt Girl are in the same team,
I guarantee I am
Yes.
the oldest one on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yes, guaranteed. So anytime I see Boo Corrigan, I think of the song My Boo. And I don't know if anybody knows the song, but now it's in my head.
Familiar.
I'm just gonna let it go.
He wouldn't be my boo.
This was Usher and Alicia Keys.
No,
Yeah, or this is
This
from,
is
like,
the other
90s, right?
this is the '90s song. It is not that song. No, it is the different one.
by
then maybe
by
not.
Ghost Town DJ.
That's right. That's the one by Ghost Town DJs.
Okay, well, I'll be listening to this later on for sure.
Oh, that's right.
Little John was a producer on this,
He
uncredited.
was. That's right.
What the hell? Okay.
See, I like that because Commish first tells us that he's old and then shows us. That's good podcasting.
It's even
Show
it's
and-
a
show and
my
tell.
boo before the my boo. You know, it's a double layered boo. So it's like the first
A
O in
boo-boo.
boo, and the second. Yeah, it is a boo boo. That is correct.
The best part of this
Hey,
process
boo-boo.
was because that the ACC had not intended to plan for this to happen. There was a chain reaction of bowl picks that
Talk about.
let us deep into the day figuring out what the ACC was up to, leading to a picture of the Sun Bowl committee holding hands in a prayer circle. And their prayer was answered because God sent his chosen team to El Paso. Congratulations, Notre Dame.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
funny.
Notre Dame
Yep.
stay to the Sun Bowl, baby.
Notre Dame's headed to the wilderness for 40 years. It's very exciting.
I think that we'll call this the El Paso papacy.
Yes. Oh,
it's
this
very
is
similar to the
this is
Avignon.
schism. Yeah, this is schism. I
Oui.
like this.
Yes.
I-
No, my little sister was very disappointed. She wanted the Pop-Tarts bowl because who wouldn't?
Of course. The best part was they had so not planned for Notre Dame. The Sun Bowl always has old ass helmets hanging around. They always have like the last helmet. We've joked about this before.
Yeah,
Whenever
last
they
year
have-
they had a block Pitt, like
Right.
old colors, block
Mhm.
logo Pitt helmet laying around. And Pitt had been in the Sun Bowl in 2018 after they changed to script with the old colors, but still. And they're using like the oldest fucking helmet in the world. Still.
They did not have a Notre Dame helmet to be found.
Hey,
Because they had
Just
not
take a random one
planned
and
for
spray
this.
paint it
They
gold.
had
or
no,
or just
So
find a
simple.
random like leather helmet and be like, yep, it's historic. It checks out.
I like to see my new headcanon is that the Sun Bowl collects heads.
Ooh.
heads for the sun god.
Yes,
This is all
And then-
this is all covered for sun worship. I knew it.
right. And now at long last, Notre Dame has come to town. The
That-
shiniest one for the wall.
There's that Avatar: The Last Airbender episode where they have to do the dragon dance in
Mhm.
order to learn the
Mhm.
true spirit of firebending. And I'm just picturing Sam Hartman with the flow as the sun rises.
Oh my god.
And it's cinematic and it's beautiful.
Jordan, you have to. You
Yeah, no,
have
I
to.
got
Sam
that.
Hartman as Zuko.
Yep, I'm tossing
Yep.
that.
All of his tracks.
And
Yeah.
Marcus Freeman is Aang.
Yeah,
It's perfect.
no, there it is. Actually, perfect. Perfect.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that happened, and so
Oh, they-
there was this like
They
chain
deleted the
reaction.
tweet.
Who did?
They deleted it. The Sun Bowl deleted the prayer circle.
Oh man!
I got the picture. We got
Well-
it saved. The picture was
Okay.
saved.
Yeah,
We got
We
him,
have to
ladies
got
and
give
him.
gentlemen.
religious liberty.
it was-
This is a violation of the First Amendment. I just can't believe it.
because every ACC adjacent bowl was panicking because all their social media people were getting screamed at online, and they're just like, "What do you want from me? I don't know anything."
I was mostly offline today, but one thing that I did see is that, like, allegedly pretty much every ACC team was just, like, straight up not answering their phone for a hot second.
Mhm.
I liked when I saw that, it's like the only thing I saw. I briefly liked the idea of ACC teams just being like, you know what, fuck you, in protest.
Yeah.
Yep.
But going back to Jordan's intro, I genuinely think that it was, in fact, because they just did not envision a world where Florida State did not make the playoff. And it really did just gum up the works and slow everything down and just cause massive delays. Which was quite funny because also it just so happens that that's the group of bowl games that has the most entertaining social media, along with Pop-Tarts. Obviously, you have the Duke's Mayo Bowl folks who had
we'll get
a
there.
delightful...
Oh yeah.
Okay, great. Please.
We will get there for
Moving
sure.
forward.
Yeah, that I forgot to mention one thing that from the playoff thing, like college game day. So like they're at the Georgia Alabama game, and they're there, and the commissioner, Greg Sankey, is there like politicking to get the SEC teams in before the game, of course, and he uses the Sesame Street, one of these things is not like the other line. And I'm like, one of these conferences is not like the other line. It appears, maybe that worked, but in my head, which is really kind of messed up to begin with, which I am the commissioner of the Sickos Committee, which is, it makes sense to me. But anytime I hear Greg Sankey's name, I think of do the Sankey leg.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Now
Right.
that's a classic reference.
That's right. I think of that, and he had on, the suit with the sneakers and everything like that. And I was just waiting for him to do the Sankey leg. I was waiting, but it didn't work out.
I mean, I would like to take this moment to remind Greg Sankey that the ACC's out-of-conference record this season was better than the SEC's. So do with that information what you will.
Doesn't matter.
The ACC was 6-4 over the SEC.
They were.
Yeah.
What did he mean? Like one of these things is not like the other. What was he referencing? What wasn't like the others?
He's trying to say
He
the
was
ACC is ass, which like
He was... Yeah, specifically he was referencing ticket prices. I'm not kidding. Because the ticket prices for the SEC championship game were so much more expensive than all the other championship games. In fact,
That what it was about?
I'm dead
No,
serious.
that's what he was talking about. He was talking about,
yeah,
and that's what he used. One of these things is not like the other, and then he referenced that. I think.
Well, and if we know nothing else about college football, we know that almost all of the revenue is made through ticketing.
Yes, definitely.
So
now he also mentioned, I think, 5 of the top 15 in the CFP were SEC teams, which is.
Gee, Greg, I wonder how that happens.
No idea.
Yeah,
this is like tautological. Like we're oh god.
Yeah, it was.
If we just
circles itself.
if we just give SEC teams more credit for playing other SEC teams, I think we can get all 14 of them in. Or is it up to 16 now?
Well, except Vandy, because Vandy is on a 10-game losing streak that matches ULM. So
yeah, but that's strength of schedule.
I mean,
I know, but
so strength. They got more. Vandy's a little bit higher than ULM.
quality losses.
Vandy is the
Quality.
best 2-10 team in the country.
Damn it! I take umbrage to that, but
So with all this being said, we're not going to go too deep into the bowl game yet because we're going to cover that plenty. But there's a little bit of fun stuff.
Oh, I got some fun ideas for the bowl, and it's going to involve some spinning wheels again. We're going to do the spinning wheels. I have envisioned probably about. I have 3 spinning wheels right now. Maybe there'll be more, but there will be some spinning wheels to do our bowl previews coming up. But right now
they do in fact got to go round.
They got to go round. They spin the bowls right round. So really at this point, we're just going to touch them lightly. Just some fun stuff that we got from the bowl announcements. Besides the ACC not having any contingency plan for anything, for Florida State not being left out, which just ruined everything. And the Duke's Mayo Bowl got so desperate that they started putting mayo on cheesecake, I think.
They did.
Yeah, they did.
And or was it a cookie of some sort?
It looked like cheesecake.
I don't know what it was.
I thought they said it was cheesecake.
I am proud though that we are sending Cub reporter Beth to the most dangerous assignment we can send to someone with an egg allergy. We're sending her to the Mayo Bowl.
I've got this, guys. Don't you worry. What's the worst that could happen?
Make sure you bring your EpiPen.
Take an EpiPen, please.
No, like when I told you on the podcast last year, if you ever went to the Mayo Bowl, like Tubby is gonna have to like do the EpiPen, like the scene from Pulp Fiction, on you
I
to
forgot
bring you
about
back
that.
to life.
Yes.
It is.
Oh,
It
I
is.
forgot about
it
this.
is-
Straight into the heart.
It could legitimately happen now. It can, because West Virginia is going to the Mayo Bowl.
Perfect.
You might be able to hug Tubby and Mac Brown at the same game.
Yeah, Tubby and I are going to have a chat and see if we can make this happen.
Just
Ooh,
you on the ground.
a
And Tubby.
brown on brown handshake.
Ooh, yes.
Ooh.
Are they? They're not related, are they?
Surely not. There are many a brown in this fair country of ours.
I just the idea of Beth, just the scene from Pulp Fiction with just Tubby jamming a needle of adrenaline into your heart.
I would say to make a video of this, but I don't want to really have this happen. But it's just fun to think about.
It's either going to be our most viral video ever or our least viral video ever, and I can't decide which.
Either
I
way,
also I have this mental image of like you and Tubby like putting your hands up to like a glass window pane, just so you
That
can
would
like
also
be
be
best friends, but
extremely
he's
good.
poison.
that's like this one of those like sad sci-fi short stories.
And never the two shall meet.
And then we have our beloved Pop-Tart Bowl. This is the Citrus Bowl. And this is NC State and who are they playing? Sorry, I haven't committed this to memory yet, folks.
It's Tennessee, is it not? Oh no, Tennessee and Iowa.
No, Tennessee's playing Iowa in the
Yeah.
in the
The
most.
Citrus Bowl.
I hope that your offense can run in quicksand because this is going to be a bad time.
Oh,
Because Tennessee,
finding
the more you struggle, Tennessee, the more you sink.
This is the best possible way to find out the bowl matchups. This is
Oh, yeah,
amazing.
I'm about to say,
I love
this is-
knowing
yeah.
nothing.
No, the Pop-Tart Bowl is going to be scroll. Really, Wikipedia, you haven't updated this yet? Oh, by the way, I need to find his name. Tulane has an interim coach.
Oh, did Willie? No, Willie Fritz left. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
North Carolina State, Kansas State, Pop-Tart Bowl.
Okay,
That's pretty good.
that's great.
That's good. I
Uh,
like that.
Tulane's interim coach
Is it on the CW? Have we
I
checked?
don't know.
No, that's another one we're going to
I
talk
don't.
about.
Well, we don't have to talk about that.
The Tulane interim head coach is Slade Nagel.
That's right. Not related to Browning Nagel.
That has to be a Spider-Man villain.
Uh,
Like it has to be.
Slade Nagel is from Lake Charles. He spent most of his time in Louisiana. Surprise.
Hell yeah.
So one thing I wanted to note, my ULM source, which I've been plugging for like ULM head coaching news, Dusty, he indicated he's at Warhawk Report. If you need more ULM stuff, then we give you here, which is probably way too much. But he said Slade Nagel was on staff at ULM with Matt Viator when he came up from McNeese. And then Dusty said he played against him in Little League growing up. So, that's some fun stuff. So he played against a coach. I played against Eli Manning in high school baseball, but that's neither here nor there.
Go ahead. Did you really, Commish?
I did. I am as old as Eli Manning. Yes.
One of my high school's little claims to fame is that Peyton Manning, when he was shortstop over at Newman, he came play Sacred Heart in Ville Platte and made an error that led to Sacred Heart winning the game and going to the semifinals.
Oh,
Fun
the
fact.
Peyton Manning baseball error. Lovely. Eli Manning was a third baseman for Newman. We played them in high school. I think we won the game like 7-5, I think, which apparently was a Falcons and Jets score at some point today.
As it was.
Yeah, it was. but yeah, he was not accurate from third base to first base, which I was a first baseman too. All the third basemen we had were not accurate either. So it would either be low or high. So understandable. It was weird when we played against Eli. He got walked, and so I'm on first base doing the typical first baseman holding the runner on thing, that you do as a baseball player. And there's like girls in the stands just literally just going, "Oh, Eli," in the stands. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I'm sitting there and I'm like trying to hold him on like Eli Manning is going to steal a base, which, you know, he only has like 20 rushing yards in the NFL. But I have 0, so I'm not that far behind. But
Exactly.
I mean,
within a rounding error, you were the same as Eli Manning.
I'm close in rushing yards, not passing. But yeah, it was. I'm just trying to I'm like a junior in high school, just trying to like hold this dude on, and like he's gonna wind up being a Hall of Fame quarterback. But yeah, it's ridiculous, and just like, you know, 17-year-old girls like fangirling out at the person that I'm holding on first base, which is very weird as hell. And I didn't expect to go down this road, but this is fun.
Slade Nagel, the reason I got here is Slade Nagel did not have a Wikipedia page until today.
Yeah. Welcome to the Wikipedia
love
page.
that.
So had to get a Wikipedia page. He still doesn't have his coaching resume totally listed, but yeah, lots of McNeese State. He played at McNeese State. Also coached at Northwest State.
Northwestern State, yeah.
Northwestern
That's
State,
right.
excuse
The
us.
Demons.
Yes, Northwestern State.
That's right.
And
I got extra Louisiana power here. Back me up.
I know.
Let's
God,
go.
this is going to be
It's like double
Man,
Louisiana.
watch out, Chef.
Let's go.
We gonna get you.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyways, side tangent there. Rewinding again to Pop-Tart Bowl. Yes, and Dave Doran got asked if he was going to eat the Pop-Tart because again, the Pop-Tart Bowl is going to have an edible mascot.
Yes.
At least part of the mascot will be edible. And the quote went.
Which part?
Oh, I don't know. I assume like a chunk of the side or something. But then again, okay, but it's an outdoor event. Are they going to change costumes for the very end for the bite? Because all the Pop-Tart like logo stuff they have has a chunk out of the top, so I assume it's that chunk.
And where is this game being played?
This is
Orlando?
the Citrus Bowl.
Orlando. Is it this?
The land of
soggy.
birds that try to eat everything.
Is this like the Citrus Bowl, or is it? It's not the Citrus Bowl. This is the former.
This is the
bowl
Cheez-It Bowl, is it not?
Yeah, the former Cheez-It Bowl.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
so this is a Camping Bowl Stadium.
Camping World Bowl, Russell Athletic Bowl.
So
thing.
Cheez-It killed off. Oh no, Chedsy still lives, but Prince Chedward is dead.
Not yet.
Oh, we don't know.
We don't know.
We don't
that.
know for sure. Okay, all right.
I realized back 2 years ago, before anyone had actually picked us up, I made a flag that had.
I remember this.
It was the state of Arizona, but it was Cheez-It, right?
It was Virginia.
Yeah.
It was Virginia. Because
Okay.
it's the Virginia flag of the woman stabbing the tyrant, and it says Sic Semper Tyrannis. And I had Chedsy, Prince Chedward underneath that.
Do you have that? Can you share that in our Discord?
Yeah, let me find it real fast.
If you can find
keep
it.
talking. Keep talking.
So Dave Doran was asked by Jaden Adams, a reporter for the News and Observer. We got to credit her for the question because it's amazing. She asked Dave Doran if he would take a bite out of this edible Pop-Tart if NC State wins. And here's how it went. She says, give her the Pulitzer Prize for capital J journalism. So I'm not a Pulitzer voter. I did vote for the Lou Groza Award. But really,
They're basically the
same thing. Kicker, Pulitzer, whatever. So this is Doran. It says, man, I guess I would have to, wouldn't I? I'm not going to be that guy that doesn't do that. And then he goes, what flavor is it going to be? So then the bowl rep for the Pop-Tarts Bowl says, I'm not at liberty to divulge that information. Then Doran replies, well, then maybe I'm not at liberty to answer the question. A couple of seconds of silence pass. Can I chase down the Pop-Tart with a nice bourbon or something like that afterwards? Is that part of the Pop-Tart experience or not? The bowl rep says, I think we could arrange that if you want it. We will make it a little tasting. Dave Doran getting an aperitif after the Pop-Tarts Bowl win. It's
important to cleanse the palate after biting a mascot.
Mm-hmm. I can't
I
find it. I'll
do-
look later.
I know that I, for one, always chase my Pop-Tarts with bourbon, so like this makes perfect sense.
Breakfast of Champions.
I will say it feels like it does have to be brown sugar cinnamon now, though, right? I think that could actually accompany it quite
A
well.
brown sugar
with some
cinnamon
bourbon,
with
yeah.
a little fireball in a swirly glass.
Ooh, and actually, but like
Sounds like a
even
great
with
breakfast.
a nice bourbon, that would be like should be nice.
Nice
I
bourbon.
did-
Okay.
I did today say on the timeline that I really like unfrosted blueberry Pop Tarts, and people lost their shit at me.
Oh God.
That's some sociopath
Is that
shit,
with or
Jordan. What
without-
the fuck?
No frost.
Is that with or without the mayonnaise?
Without the mayo, I kind of prefer unfrosted. Someone said you might as well be eating a granola bar. We got to talk about like health equivalences, folks.
I'm
No, but like unfrosted blueberry Pop-Tart is basically just a large flat Nutri-Grain bar. Like,
warmed up.
Okay.
But yeah.
Well, the thing is that my favorite is an unfrosted strawberry Pop-Tart.
There we go.
And so I do feel like I have to stand with Jordan here.
That's right.
Is that
That's a
better
dan-
than
that's a
blueberry or
dangerous
not
place
better
to
than
be.
blueberry?
Like
You know what?
Catherine is standing with Jordan. This is
It's
dangerous.
a dangerous place to be.
It is shaky ground.
I-
No,
I'm loyal.
this-
If I can pivot to Notre Dame, I can pivot to unfrosted
this
Pop-Tarts.
is my
Notre Dame is the unfrosted Pop Tarts of football. This makes sense.
they are unfrosted ACC Pop-Tarts. But
Come at me, Domers.
no, this makes sense.
I-
This is spiritually correct.
I love this because I could not grow up with with frosted Pop-Tarts. My mom would not allow frosted Pop-Tarts in the house because the frosted Pop-Tarts were unhealthy. The normal Pop-Tarts were healthy. So actually, of the unfrosted ones, blueberry was my favorite of the unfrosted ones. But you had the frosting, and then you grow up to like brown sugar cinnamon, and then like you get all the crazy stuff like the wild berry wildness or whatever. But the unfrosted ones, blueberry was my favorite because that's all I was allowed to have, and I was not allowed to have Cookie Crisp cereal either. I've never had it.
My household was a chocolate fudge Pop-Tart household, but that is because my dad likes them. I like the cookies and cream ones, and this is a weird thing, but I stand by it. They are very good if you put them in the freezer.
I've heard that. Someone did suggest that for Kansas State, every man a wild berry.
Ooh, I like
That's
that.
very good.
That's a good shirt.
And they're purple too.
They are. It's beautiful.
We go on to some random coach hirings and firings. Boise State has locked down their interim as the full-time coach. This is Spencer Danielson. Was DC on the staff for 7 seasons. The defense at Boise has never been the problem the last couple years.
No, not the
And
case.
again, they just won their conference with the interim coach. So I guess that's the answer. I don't know enough about him to say anything positive or negative, but I assume that Boise locked it down for a reason.
You see the video of the AD talking to the entire Boise State team to give them what bowl they're going to, which I don't remember off the top of my head. I think they're going to the LA Bowl.
It's by Gronk.
Sponsored by Gronk.
No, it's not sponsored by Gronk.
Oh,
It has a title sponsor too now, though.
Okay.
It's the something LA
it's
Bowl sponsored
hosted by Gronk.
Yeah, it's the Starco Brands LA Bowl hosted by Gronk.
Okay, so it's hosted
That
by
doesn't
Gronk,
sound like a scam at all.
which Gronk is literally Slurms McKenzie in this aspect here, because it is the bowl game sponsored by Slurm, and Gronk is Slurms McKenzie. Go out there and party at the bowl game, Gronk. Go right ahead and do that. But yeah, they played UCLA, and they did the giant thing in front of it's a team room. They're announcing the bowl game. We're going here. And instead of like giving the kid the scholarship, they gave the interim coach the full-time job, which is kind of a weird dynamic, and they all celebrated. So, pretty much all of them got a standing ovation except like 2 folks, which I don't know if they're injured or not. But really, it seems like a good hire for them. And I mean, if they come out hair on fire, and they were beating some ass the past 3 games. So, I mean, maybe they'll keep it up next year.
Y'all, I'm not going to go into it right now, but I just dropped something that Star Cove Brands does
Oh,
in the chat. Boozy just met bougie,
oh,
and it is vodka infused whipped cream.
Oh
Oh
God.
God.
Oh no.
Oh,
No.
I love this the tag after that. Lit has no limit.
Available in 3 flavors: vanilla, caramel, and mocha.
What's the alcohol by
And part-
volume?
It's called whip
10%
shots, and part of me is just like, do you know what I'm going to be doing? Like, not only
Oh
will I be
my
drinking this, I'm going to be
God.
doing the whippets out of this too.
Oh my
I'm
god.
just going to be huffing this shit.
What is
This
this?
is a lawsuit waiting to
Holy-
happen.
Holy crap. It's 10% alcohol by volume. That's 20%. That's more than
This is someone who saw the Ain't No Laws While You're Drinking Claws campaign and is like, you know what? I can do you one better.
that's double White Claw right there. That's double
Yeah.
White Claw. That is
It's-
dangerous.
it's
That's
whipped cream.
dangerously close to Four Loko.
I mean, well,
Oh my God.
it's branded as a shot, so I think that like the
it's
intention
not a
of it
drink.
is more of a liquor thing. And for a shot that's 10% ABV is not
It's
that
not
strong.
too bad. No, it's not like you're doing.
But again, I'm going to be huffing this like a whippet while I'm inhaling this. So
Who?
Yeah,
I'm going to be
but
killing brain
who?
cells left and right.
Who just wants a dairy forward shot? Is my question. Like, what is the?
I mean,
Who's been craving
I
that?
could get behind a cream based shot or something. I don't think I could get behind a whipped cream based shot.
I mean, y'all
like
talk
this,
about-
where it's like
I mean,
the actual
isn't that
whipped
like
cream.
just basically a blowjob?
Yeah.
Well,
yes.
yeah, but it's not like the whipped cream is
the
there's
shot.
more to
Yes, but okay.
Now, Catherine, you don't want to
And I
be.
broke
I'm
Pitt
going to
Girl.
quote here.
It's a
You don't
rib
want to
shot.
quote feel lit and luxurious all at once.
Lit. And
I think that there
luxurious.
are multiple avenues to feeling lit and luxurious, and this is not my preferred route.
I think we need to follow at whip_shots now on the
Yeah, we
Kibbie
do.
account. We need to do that. We need to do that. We already follow the Jello shot makers for the LSU
Yeah, we do.
folks, for the baseball title.
The Jello Shot Committee.
The Jello shot, we follow Rocco's. We follow I think
Oh,
the maker of the machine. I think is it Jivo?
Something like that out of Murfreesboro. Yeah.
Which reminds me again of
In law school, the LSU law school student government group had a Jello Shot committee for tailgates, and I thought that's what you were referencing.
I mean, that's no.
No,
You got your law journal crew.
dude.
You got
LSU,
your Jello shot crew.
dude. LSU.
You got your
LSU
Federalist
They overlap.
Society. You got your
LSU
Federalist
hey.
Society.
If anybody wants to talk about tailgating, you talk about LSU. They have Jello shot committees. All right, Ole Miss. I don't know if you got that. All right, Ole Miss. You do not have a Jello shot committee, do you? If you do, please add us. Seriously, because I know we got one random Ole Miss follower who is like gung ho Ole Miss.
Do we
Which is-
really? Wow.
Yeah, there's like a shark in the profile. It's like
Oh yeah.
West Side Rebs, I believe is his name.
I'm imagining that this works a lot like the way that House used to hide Vicodin in the book about lupus because it's never lupus. That, there's a bunch of law students with just a hollowed out copy of Black's Law Dictionary that's just filled to the brim with Jello shots.
I'm still thinking
you
about
know.
actual applications for the whip shots. I think the best actual application for this is on top of Irish coffee, or if you're having a festively spiked hot chocolate,
I mean,
right?
look.
Like there are uses
If
for
it has
this.
the consistency of whipped cream, I could see just having it on desserts, and then the dessert
Yeah.
gets you a little
What-
drunk.
What Beth said earlier, there is the blowjob shot, which comes with whipped cream on top. You just put this whipped cream on top. Now you have more liquor in the blowjob, or maybe a buttery nipple. I mean, there's legitimate stuff here. Yes,
I like
yes,
my
Bushwhacker.
yes.
So I
Drinks are
have
very suggestive, Pitt Girl.
I
Yeah,
have
oh
an
no, I'm
update
aware.
here.
My first legal drink was a buttery nipple.
There you go. I have an update for you here. Whip shots are brought to you by Cardi B. So I'm not sure
That
how
makes
Cardi
sense,
B is
actually.
involved, but the branding, it just says that it's brought to you by, which is I don't think I've heard that before in terms of establishing a commercial relationship between a celebrity endorser and a product. That's
Rose
usually
Bowl,
something I
brought
hear
to
on
you by Vizio.
PBS or something.
At least
The
it's
Rose
not,
Bowl brought to you by
Yeah.
Cardi B. Can we get that?
And viewers like you.
at least it's
Thank
not
you.
WAP shots.
Swerve back. Other coaching news. Duke, we don't know yet. Still open. Houston has got Willie Fritz. They got their guy.
Willie,
I
no, Willie, why you leave me? Why, Willie?
It was
Why?
it was the money.
Why?
I did.
It's
It
again.
wasn't the money.
It's the P5 thing. It is.
Yeah.
It's the P5
Tulane's
thing.
got money.
Tulane's got the money, honey.
That is true.
Exactly.
They got the money, but it's the P5 thing. It is. It
Mhm.
is just. And I mean, Houston is. I don't. They got a new stadium. They got a giant. I mean, what is Houston like? The second biggest city in America?
It depends on how you.
It depends on
city,
what do you like
metro
measure.
area.
You're like, is it metro area? Is it population or whatever? It is a giant city in Texas, and he started in Sam Houston. So I mean, there is some sort of connection there. Selfish reasons, I'm depressed that he's leaving Tulane. I'm going to say that I am very, very upset. I grew up in New Orleans watching Tulane football. You know, I dealt with like horrible Tulane coaches. Now we have the Rich Rodriguez coming back to Tulane rumors. And I'm like, from like 98. I'm just like, okay, so West Virginia was getting them. Now it's
Should he go back to Fairmont State too? Are we just going to lap everything again?
Just lapping Rich Rod.
Ask Bobby Petrino about that.
Rich Rod's coming back to ULM because he was an offensive coordinator. We don't have to go back to Bobby. But no, it's just, I think Tulane, I'm going to give this as unsolicited advice because I know the Tulane AD is not listening to this. But Tulane just...
They also just lost their AD too, which
they just got picked. Their AD just got picked. Their coach gets picked. So, I mean, Tulane's kind of hot right now. The Green Wave is a little bit hot in the streets. So they're getting everything picked because if you can do it at Tulane, you can kind of do it everywhere. I'm bummed that he's leaving, but I understand it. You got the P5 opportunity. You got a brand new Big 12. Texas, Oklahoma, gone. You got the biggest city. I think Houston is bigger than Dallas. But if you can't,
Oh yes.
But I mean, like Houston and Dallas are, and then you have a New Orleans pull to Houston, and Houston and New Orleans are basically neighbors after Katrina. After Katrina, Houston, New Orleans, that 5.5 hour drive, whatever. Shout out to Jennings, Louisiana, that I always stop in. But that drive there is nothing anymore to anybody.
How fast are you driving? How fast are you going to get from New Orleans to Houston in 5.5 hours? Yeah.
I mean, if you get out early enough in the morning, at like 5 in the morning, you can definitely get to Houston like it ain't nothing.
All right. Yeah, no, but I think that you make a really good point though about
Commish.
You're going. I mean, there's a lot of speed traps in Louisiana, man. I don't know how you didn't get a ticket, but being coach at Tulane, absolutely, recruited the Houston area. There's going to be plenty of connections for him to build off of there. And I do think that this is actually an opportunity for Tulane because the beauty of a situation like this is that you have a coach like Willie Fritz who wasn't just very good there, but was there for quite a long time. You have a great foundation for a program. And so the names that you see associated with the job seem to be sort of younger guys looking for their first head coaching opportunity. Alex Atkins, who has long-standing ties to Tulane, I think would be such an exciting hire. And you can take a risk on a guy like that because you have, not to say blood in the water, but sort of that kind of vibe where like the alumni are very excited about Tulane being good at football. And if you can build on that momentum, then you can just keep the ball rolling, hopefully. We'll see what happens.
And that's why Tulane needs to bring back Mac Brown.
I kind of want to throw a curveball into that. Go get Troy's head coach, please. Go get John Summerall. Go get him. You stole their defensive coordinator. Go get the head coach now. Go do it, Tulane.
We also have JMU is still looking for their coach. ULM got a rumor that is going to be that they're really looking closely at UAB's interim coach from last year.
Yes, right.
And this year was New Mexico's OC, Brian Vincent. Commish did some math on New Mexico in the last 2 years.
Look. I have been, like, as soon as I get rumors, I am going in depth with ULM, like off the charts, which, we had our...
Munromers.
Okay, that works out.
Workshop it.
We'll do it. It doesn't matter. There's not many rumors coming out of Monroe. It's just basically, do you like Johnny's Pizza or not? But really, shout out Johnny's Pizza. Sweep the kitchen, baby.
Johnny's Pizza's mid.
Oh, damn it.
Oh
Oh
God.
my God.
Do you get the nacho cheese on the side?
No.
Okay.
Is that a game changer?
That is a game changer. Do it. All right.
Okay.
All right.
What the
There you
fuck
go.
are you people doing to pizza in Louisiana?
No, don't.
I feel
It
like
is-
I don't have
It
any
is like a
room
Cajun nacho cheese.
here.
It has got a kick. It is amazing. All right.
I'm sure it's good.
You
It
can't,
is.
but you can't. God knows you can't put salami and American cheese on pizza. No.
Okay,
Don't-
Miss Altoona
we're not
Pizza
talking
later.
about your
All right,
Altoona
get
war
out of here,
crimes,
Altoona
okay?
Pizza. Get out of here. It's like breadstick strips pizza. I'll definitely have to show a picture in the Discord for that. But really, no. There's a rumor to be linked to the UAB interim. He was a UAB interim coach for 1 year after Bill Clark retired. And Brian Vincent. They went 7-6. They won the Bahamas Bowl. I kind of felt like he should have kept the job. He didn't keep the job. Then he wound up because they wanted to hire Trent Dilfer because you can't win games in the NFL if you lose games. Thank you, Trent Dilfer. But really, he went to New Mexico. New Mexico had the second worst offense in 2022. The only one that had the worst offense was Iowa. But they improved from 130th, which, we added some more teams. They went to 67th in total offense in
That's
1
really
year.
impressive.
In 1 year at New Mexico. So basically, he didn't really have many recruits or whatever. He had to work with. He's making chicken salad out of green chilies and chicken salad. But really, I'm kind of excited if that it works out. I talked to Dusty at Warhawk Report. They indicated that the money for the head coaching job is not an issue. There is kind of a sticking point right now of the assistant coaching pool. So they need to work through that, and he wants a little bit more money there. I don't know. Dusty's kind of not sold on the hire, but he hasn't talked to him directly yet. So I don't know. We got ULM coaching rumors. This is where you come for the Sickos Committee podcast for ULM coaching rumors.
Monroemers.
Rumors?
We also Mitsu's still looking. New Mexico's still looking. UTEP. Our friend Colin Davers. Last time I heard was they're looking at UNLV's OC. I believe
That's right. UNLV's OC, I think.
And
That's
then
Brandon Marion, right?
Yes.
yes,
Yeah, he was at Pitt for a hot second.
Yeah.
His offensive is interesting, and that would be a interesting and potentially productive hire.
And then Nevada's still looking as well. They're targeting for Bruce Feldman. They're targeting Texas's co-DC Jeff Choate. Choate. I'm gonna go with
Choate. It's
I believe it's Choate.
Choate.
Choate. I don't know. I almost said Jeff Chode. Okay, I had to stop myself.
Christ.
Probably
I'm
not
sure
that
you
one.
wouldn't be the first.
I had to stop myself. Okay,
Jeff Inchoate.
if your last name is Choate, you definitely have gone by Jeff Choate at some point in your life.
There's
right?
Middle school, probably.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
Oh God, that's like one of the names you do not want to carry through middle school and high school. Oh God.
So, what is Kurt Signetti already doing at Indiana?
So Kurt Signetti was basically interviewed by Nicole Auerbach, Jerry DiNardo, and Dan Rizvine on the Big Ten Network, and he's interviewed while the Big Ten championship is in Indianapolis, and he basically called his shot that Indiana, why not come back here next year? Indiana's going to be here next year.
Love it.
I'm like, okay, go ahead. Go right ahead, Kirk Signetti. Do your thing. He's also cutting promos at Indiana basketball games. He's like yelling at everybody in Indiana basketball, and he's like doing these wrestler promos. And then the fun part is when the biggest cheer he got was when he just went, "Purdue sucks." And then everybody
Playing the hits. Thank you,
played the
Indiana.
hits. And then he was like, "Michigan sucks and Ohio State sucks," and they were just like, the cheers weren't necessarily as loud for those two because they're like, no, they're actually kind of good.
The best thing about that for me, though, is, and I'm sure Beth will speak on this slightly more in a moment, but Kurt Signetti is from Western Pennsylvania, and he has the yinzery ass accent,
Mhm.
and he's just like, Ohio State sucks, and like nobody hits the word Ohio like a yinzer. Like,
Yep.
it's so
Ahia?
beautiful.
Ahia?
Ahia.
Ohio.
Ahia.
So it's AHIA. IA?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ahia?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ohio.
Ohio State.
Ohio State. Yeah, that it has to be real flat.
IA. they
It's
God damn it.
I so badly want to know if he's gonna like sneak IUP gear into
Yes.
Indiana. Please, God.
Hey,
Maybe it's
That
like
was-
really close to the same shade of red.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
That was my fun nugget. So I thought it was so funny because I was like, Kurt Signetti, because he had been talked about for the Duke hire, because he has been just very much concentrated in more that Atlantic region, I guess. I'm a true Southerner in that I don't know how other regions work. But I went and I looked up and I was like, oh, wait, he was at Indiana before. No, his first head coaching job was Indiana University of Pennsylvania. Delightful. How fun is that?
Mhm.
This is a coming home.
I mean, yeah, Beth. Let's talk about this, Beth, as an alumna.
I mean, not for another 2 weeks, but yeah.
Yeah, close enough.
Yeah, as a
Don't
A
call her.
future alumna.
Don't call
as
her
a
an alumna.
as opposed to a former student.
Don't call her that. She's a booster.
yes, as a bag man, a bag person, a bag lady. Wait, no, that has context. That's context.
Noted bag lady, Beth.
Noted bag lady Beth. Bagpipe lady Beth.
Yes, that definitely. Yeah, I'm well, the Signetti name is of course legendary at IUP. We got fields named after Frank Signetti. We have Kurt Signetti who spent some time there. Like it's a big deal.
Wait, is Kurt a nepo baby? Like, can we fold him under this?
At IUP?
Yeah,
Almost certainly.
there we go.
To clarify, also Frank Signetti, meaning the first one, not the one who just got canned from Pitt.
No. Although I don't know if that one ever coached at IUP, even for a short amount of time. It's very possible.
He went
Almost all
to
of them are
college.
from Indiana.
He did coach there.
Yeah.
He wasn't head coach, but he was like wide receivers coach back in the 90s.
IUP gets their coaches from the Signetti family. That's where they come from.
Go Crimson Hawks.
Yeah, Crimson Hawks.
And of course, the Indiana University of Pennsylvania, their big rival, of course, is the California University, or is it? No, sorry.
No, it's Slippery Rock.
Damn it.
It is Slippery Rock.
It's not California or Cal Penn or whatever we're calling it nowadays.
No, although they do also greatly dislike the Vulcans of Cal.
Wait, they've changed California University of Pennsylvania's name?
No, CalU is still CalU. They are not one of the ones that's becoming part of Penn West, correct?
I know.
They got rolled into
they
Penn
are.
West.
They're Penn West,
Oh.
California now,
Gross.
which again is, oh God, I fucking hate your state.
Someday Beth and I will do a side episode about the Pashy.
Please,
Yeah.
please do. Before we go on to talk about the actual games, let's talk about what we have going on this week. First off, our last final poll is going to be running through Tuesday night. So if you're listening to this on Tuesday and you have not voted yet, stay in line. Your vote matters.
That's right. Stay in line.
You have to pick 10 teams or 10 things or 10 whatevers.
Yeah.
The Sick Notes Committee final poll. We'll tally them up for Tuesday. We'll let you know what comes out. For this one's important because this one is always based on our charity drive. Whoever wins, we contract a food pantry. Did I say that right? Thank you. A food pantry in the area, and we will do a fundraiser for them. And last year we did over $5,000 for one of the food pantries in Iowa City. It was great. And we're excited to do even more this year. So, and Commish, I think, has some fun swag for people who donate above a certain threshold to be decided.
Yeah. So there's going to be, we have a couple of different things. We have some stickers, we have some koozies, we have some magnets that we're going to give away based off of your donation to the food pantry or for the food drive. So if you hit a certain threshold, depending on who wins it, I'm going to set the threshold at something different. So depending on who wins it, there could be a threshold of let's just say for Iowa, could be a threshold of the Ferentz line. There could be a threshold for the Matt Rule line. There could be a threshold for many other different things. Possibly right now, based off of early results, there's a couple of other ones. I mean, there could be, a Brent Key line. I have no idea what that would be. Maybe a key lime pie. I have no idea. But there's some early results right now that have definitely seen a few different teams in in contention for the committee national championship. But I will set a line off of that based whoever wins. And maybe a Tory Taylor punt line. Who knows?
Do you know that Pro Kick Australia follows us now? The Australian punting academy.
Are you?
Of course they do.
Hell,
They follow us now.
Hell yeah, Pro Kick.
Hey, you want to go to Australia? You want to go to Australia this summer?
Dude,
go talk to
Sure.
Dude, Pro Kick Australia.
Whose summer? Our summer?
Our summer. Oh, they're winter.
Yeah.
I think it's still pretty nice in most of Australia
Yeah,
during
it's
Aussie
fine.
winter.
It's fine.
I mean, teach me how to punt. I still have some eligibility left, I think. I didn't use it all in intramurals.
Isn't there like a 38-year-old Aussie punter somewhere?
Yeah.
They're all like 38 and have worked at a paper mill at some point.
Oh God, the paper mill, ULM. Tie it back in.
We also have our Discord for $5 a month. Come join us and chat with us on game days. It's been a lot of fun this season. The folks in there have been absolutely great, adding to what we've been doing. Thank you so much. And if you want to come chat with us more, come join us for $5 a month.
They rock. Like any of the patrons that have joined and have been participants in the chat. They're awesome. I don't want to name them right now because they're gonna get mad if I leave somebody out. But really, we've probably named them on a couple of different podcast episodes. They are amazing committee members, and coming into the Discord, they have added so much to the committee this year. I'm glad we were able to do this because it has just been phenomenal. I cannot wait to see what weird things we get into in the off season because there's not going to be any games. So now our minds are going to be free to roam for the weirdest stuff that is going to happen in the off season. So I am so hyped for that.
Yeah, bad news, friends. I have ideas.
Yep. Oh my God. I cannot wait. Shout out to everybody in the Patreon doing the nearest to the restaurant stadium things. They're doing so many different other things. They're amazing. Come join and be a part of it because again, it's about a committee. We are a committee. It's not just us here. It's everybody involved in the Discord.
And you get to talk to the world famous Beth, the one Beth that everyone wants to know and listen to.
Jordan, why?
The world famous Beth. You can tag the Commish in a tweet that we've probably already tweeted, but again, you can tag us in things and just see what's going on. But I mean, if you tag us in something, just make sure we hadn't tweeted it like 3 hours ago or so, or like 20 minutes ago.
Wait till I get those Beth State shirts out, Gear.
Beth State.
Oh
hey, we already got the foam finger for Beth. The Go Beth foam finger.
That's true. Right. It is canonical that the Go Beth foam finger exists.
I don't think they sell it on our store yet, but maybe.
It's mine. It's hiding behind my couch right now.
We also do have our merch store, sickoscommittee.org. We got tons of stuff there. I just added a few new things, some pins as well, so check that out. Shout out to Message Board Geniuses podcast. Good God, they've been having a great time lately.
Oh God,
we have a YouTube channel.
Oh my God,
follow it.
I just
thought about what the FSU
State,
message boards must look like.
Board,
yep,
Florida State. Holy crap, Message Board Geniuses.
You should also follow our Instagram too, because we're starting to post more Instagram-y content on there. We're figuring that out, like two white dudes in their like late 30s, early 40s only can figure out.
I mean, like we're not
Instagram.
like posting. I mean, is there any way to post like a sicko's thirst trap?
Yeah, there is. I'll figure it out. Hell yeah.
Say, baby.
Hell yeah.
Say, oh my God, look at that Iowa punt.
Uh-huh.
I think our thirst traps are just like a really salty food or something that like makes people physically thirsty.
These pretzels are making me thirsty.
Or was it the Sunbelt Championship that had the $2 Natty Light?
It was Sunbelt.
Yes, it was. It was Troy.
Sunbelt was for the people.
Our thirst trap will be whip shots once I figure out how to get them in Pennsylvania.
The best part, Arthur has been posting things in the Discord that include, is whip shots kosher? Yes. And my favorite one, does whip shots need to be refrigerated? No, nope, don't do it. We know you're tempted to, but whip shots does not and should not be refrigerated. I want to know what's wrong with it.
There's probably a physics reason for that with the alcohol in milk.
It says apparently because they might solidify. If that happens, here's the steps. Slap it, shake it, and whip it.
So it's a bop it, but
how should you whip
inside it?
Whip it good?
Whip it good. Hey.
Now I'm having flashbacks to 7th grade, where the the seniors would only play Whip It on the jukebox in our cafeteria.
Y'all had a juke.
Look, man, I went to a
Whip It
private
had
school.
just come out at the time.
Yeah.
No, seriously. I was a 7th grader in the mid 90s, or I'm sorry, early 90s. But
I was a 7th grader in the mid 90s.
no. Look,
You do not want to know how
I
old
was a
Catherine and I were
seventh
in the
grader
mid
in
Shut the
90s.
fuck up.
Were we born?
It was-
Were we born
okay.
yet?
I was
Depends.
born in 1995, so
No,
definition
they were not alive.
mid-90s.
neither of you were not alive at this time this was
This.
happening. This was probably 94. I will say this is before your time. I don't know why we had a jukebox in the cafeteria of
An awful idea.
of my all boys Catholic school.
So Pitt Girl, there used to be these very large things, and you put a quarter into them, and then you pushed a button, and it played a song for you.
They were at Pizza Hut.
The Pizza Hut the Pizza Hut that I grew up going to had a jukebox.
Yeah.
I don't know why the seniors would play this song every single day, but every single day they would play Devo's Whip It. And I have no idea why this occurred till this day. No idea why this occurred, but I can only associate that song with that happening. I really hope it's an inside joke against one of the one of the teachers that taught the seniors. I have no idea why this occurred, but crack that whip.
We also have a Substack. And of course, Home Field Apparel. Use offer code YES, yes. That's 3 ha's for 15% off your first order. Also coming up are the 12 days of Home Field, where we're going to have fun home field things every day, including, well, I don't know. Can I say what the days are or no? No, I can't. I can say.
I think the days are a secret.
The days
So
are a secret. Never mind.
there's the 12 days of home field. So let's see what we have. We have some information here. So right now it's the new collections for the CFP teams. There will be a random staff pick sale that probably already occurred by the time you listen to this. And then the day that this podcast drops, there will be mystery teas. There's going to be mystery teas
Always
that are
good.
coming out. I love this because you just get a mystery tea, and it's probably like, I mean, like you're looking at almost half off of the normal price, and you get a mystery tea.
I am currently wearing a Home Field mystery tee.
Yeah,
I love this shirt.
They have over 180 schools, and you just pay for this mystery tea. It's like maybe $20 plus shipping. And then you get this mystery tea, and you get a random, like the Toledo Rockets shirt that I have is a mystery tea. There's like so many different mystery teas that I have, which is amazing. And then there's more coming, and we're going to promote it. There's going to be some more sales. It's the 12 days of home field. So
La 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 la
the
la
la, la. on the 5th day, I got a mystery tea.
So let's talk about some games. I don't feel like we need to run down every single conference title game, but if you find one that's on your heart, definitely speak on it. I do want to give New Mexico State a huge shout out. They gave Liberty some hell. And Diego Pavia goes down with an arm injury. It wasn't too bad. They had to bring out a dude that I was having to look up because I did not know who this person was. His name was
Blaze.
Help me, Commish. Blaze. His name was Blaze, and he was from Cushing, Oklahoma, which we sort the Cush. He is 420 personified, and true freshman, and absolutely was just playing like his hair was on fire.
Blaze Berlowitz.
There we go, Blaze Berlowitz.
That's right.
Which is a great name.
Look. So apparently, we knew Diego was banged up. The past like a couple of weeks that Diego Pavia was banged up. We knew he was banged up, and apparently it's a shoulder injury that he was trying to play through, and it's his throwing shoulder. His last throw that he had in the regular season or the conference title game, he threw a 75-yard touchdown pass.
Yeah, he did.
And then it was it. Like he was done. Berlowitz came in, threw a touchdown, tied the game up at 35-35. But I mean, you got a freshman quarterback coming in, trying to win a title game in a hostile environment. Look, New Mexico State won 10 games this year.
I can't believe that.
10 games. The Aggies won 10 games. They didn't win this one, unfortunately. But seriously, if Diego didn't go down, I kind of think they may have went shot for shot in this case. I feel like they could have kept their defense a little bit more rested. This could have been a game that maybe came down to like a field goal or maybe went to OT. I kind of feel like it could have happened, but we will never know. So really, shout out to the Aggies because nobody really expected them to be here. Nobody expected them to be in a bowl game. Nobody expected them to win 10 games this year. We had hope that they did. But shout out to America's team, the New Mexico State Aggies.
I watched all but like the last 5 minutes of this game, and it was a banger.
It was
straight banger, including with Berlowitz. He, as Commish said, Jordan said, he was playing with his hair on fire. I mean, great game.
I mean, they were trying to fight fire with fire.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
And they get to play in a really fucking fun bowl game. They have never played the New Mexico Bowl before.
No,
they get to.
No, every time they go to the bowl, they like send them far, far, far away.
And they get to play Fresno State, which ought to be a really good bowl game.
Ooh.
Yeah, that game looks like it'll be really fun.
Like, I'm really excited for that game.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good one. And that's like 3.5 hours from Las Cruces.
Yeah, it's close.
Ooh,
it's western close.
See,
that's definitely a game I would have enjoyed going to, but as it turns out, New Mexico is far.
For you, I kind of. It's like 11 from me, and I'm 11 hours, and I'm like,
once again, I realize I'm halfway.
You could get red chilies
and green chilies, but my wife has said if I go to New Mexico again, I have to take her because she's mad that she didn't get the red and green chilies. So
that's fair.
Maybe I
She's
can
got
take
a
her.
point.
Maybe I can take her. I don't know. I'll try.
Then on Friday night, guys, I don't have a lot to say except Oregon Washington was a banger. Like part 2 was great. It was as much fun as the first time. We got to see all the mascots like love each other. It was wonderful.
Go ahead, Catherine. You talk about the mainstream stuff here.
Yeah, no, that's, again, and I am a sicko. I really do. All football is good football, y'all, but this is just something I'm paid to cover. So I want to shout out Dylan Johnson, who should have been the MVP of this game, but because we live in a society that
you're absolutely right.
overvalues the quarterback, he was not. But Dylan Johnson, 152 yards, unbelievable performance, ran like he was absolutely furious, and it was really fun to watch. Oregon just was on the back foot. One could say they were playing with webbed feet for quite a bit of the game. Bo Nix did come back after a very poor first half to do everything he could. And may I just shout out Bo Nix, his interview after the first Washington loss made me have so much respect for him. His interview after the second loss to Washington, it's just really worth, if you want to think about college football in the least cynical way possible, then I highly encourage you to find Bo Nix's interview after the Washington game, listen to it, and think about everything that this kid went through being the scion of, Pat Nix's kid at Auburn, leaving Auburn, COVID, the transfer portal, NIL, all of these things that are changing and we're watching from outside, he was experiencing, and it's just worth watching. So just to shout out that.
I mean, I hope he gets a chance to enjoy the New Year's Six Bowl because I think this is. I mean, I don't know what bowl Oregon played in last year, off the top of my head.
I don't remember,
but I hope he enjoys like a prestige bowl like the Fiesta Bowl. I hope he enjoys it, and there's indication that he's going to play. I hope he enjoys it. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, it's college. I mean, who knows what the NFL will bring? But again. I definitely hope he enjoys it.
Yeah, I saw that he's going to play, and I must say that I hope he and the Ducks turn into a grease spot.
Absolutely.
Yep. I like this one, guys. If the first quarter goes differently, this game is different because Washington wins 34-31. In the first quarter, Oregon could not have played worse. They had 9 yards in the first quarter.
Mm-hmm.
So Washington's 117. Washington goes up 10-0. And if that doesn't happen, I think Oregon, I mean, they came within 3 anyways. But that first quarter put them so far behind schedule. So far behind. Arthur, you had some feelings about this, I believe?
Yeah, I mean, this is the third game in a row that Oregon has lost by 3 points to Washington. Oregon was favored coming into this game by like 9 points.
That was weird.
Felt so weird to me. I don't think these teams are, at least when they're functioning and operational, are ever going to play a game that's more than one possession. But I feel like I was just thinking, like, Oregon is, in my mind, over like the last 15 years, the team that has had the most like times they've been a championship contender or like a college football playoff or like BCS contender without like actually winning. Because like I feel like there are a lot of the teams that we have are kind of repeaters, right? Like Alabama, obviously, like Georgia, like those teams, when you think back to like when it was Clemson, but like even a lot of the teams, if we go back like 15 years, right? Like Auburn is in there, right? Like LSU's gotten in there. Ohio State's gotten in there. Like in terms of consistently being, ranked in the top 10, top 5, like I kind of feel like, yeah, Oregon might be the team that has, I mean, especially when you look at like the players they've put in the NFL, especially at the quarterback position, like is Oregon the best team over like the past 15 years that hasn't won a title like in aggregate?
So are you saying that they're ducking short? Or maybe they're Oregoning?
They're not all they're quacked up to be, unfortunately.
There we go.
There we go.
That's it. That's it. That's why we bring guests on.
Shout out to Louisiana.
Yeah,
what were you gonna say, Pitt Girl?
Arthur, like
no, I think there's a good argument for that. I mean, the other team that comes to mind as having like several or like enough playoff appearances but not having one yet is Washington. So I guess we'll see.
I think this is Washington's only second, right?
It's the third or so.
But
they were
only
like the fourth
one.
spot for like a year or two.
They only had one with like Jake Browning and all them, right?
Yeah, I mean, they also
Oregon
lost the 2010 national championship. So
I feel like there's the
Michael Dyer was not down.
Michael
He
Dyer
was not.
He was not.
Oregon specifically. The thing about Oregon to me is that like they you're right, they haven't made that many playoff appearances. It feels like every year though there's a point in the season where like they would be like there was I think it was like what was it 2 years ago or so that they beat Ohio State early in the season and like they've had so many of these years and whether it's like then they lost a fluky game in like Arizona or
I mean like what was it Dennis Dixon with like the horrible injury?
Yeah, like
I mean,
just,
are the Ducks
so
cursed?
Sad.
Are you trying to say that? Is
they're snake bit. They're kind of snake bit.
The Ducks are bit by snakes. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I do think that it's just unfortunate because they're in such a unique situation because they're not necessarily they're in a true college town, right? Eugene is a college town. They have the resources because of Nike being right there. And it's not all Phil Knight donating, but it is the benefit of having facilities that, are essentially co-sponsored by Nike. The biggest problem is that they just haven't been able to retain a coach, I think. It feels as though you need someone to really commit to the build because very rarely are you going to have a flash in the pan team. It happens. It happened for Auburn. It happened for LSU. But normally you have to actually build something. And so I think the question for this iteration of the Ducks is Dan Lanning going to stay? Is he going to put down roots or is he going to come back to the SEC one day? Personally, I hope that they do build something because I think the Oregon fan base seems fantastic. Anytime College Game Day is in Eugene, it is so worth watching because they're so fired up.
So great.
And they have a baseball team now.
Look, I when you said they need to fit the bill, I thought of the duck bill.
Oh,
but
Lordy.
yes, totally.
Very good.
But yes, really, it's something that we need in college football. We need these West Coast points. We need them. I know they're not in the Pac-12 technically anymore. They're still Pac-12 to me. But we need these West Coast points. We need Washington. We need Oregon. We need USC. We need UCLA. Hell, we need Cal. We need Stanford. We need all of these West Coast points to like maintain high levels of college football. Whatever you say for Cal, I don't care. They're going to Shreveport, baby. That is the
pinnacle. They are.
That is the pinnacle. That is the pinnacle of the Sickos committee right there. We're going to Shreveport,
Cal and
baby.
Texas Tech playing in Shreveport.
It is fucking amazing. All right, I love it. I love that shit so much.
Oh, can
I'm like, I want to drive there personally.
Okay, so I haven't told the podcast yet, but here's my plan for December 16th. I am doing Santa breakfast with my family at 9:30 a.m. At noon, I have the D2 title game in my hometown, and then I'm going to drive to Shreveport. I'm going to get my car.
Spiritual home.
It's 3.5 hours.
It is
Okay.
the spiritual
And I can
home.
make it. I can make it in time for kick.
I have
Okay.
a
Oh.
6.5 hour drive, I think.
Yeah, you're long.
And I'm debating this and taking my 6-year-old son. Like I'm like totally in debate mode, like pacing, trying to
Get in the
figure
car.
out,
We're going to Shreveport, kid.
like, hey, let's get in the Volvo. We're going. Hell no, ho. We're going
Get
to
in,
Shreveport.
loser. We're going to Shreveport.
Get in, loser. We're going to fucking Bossier. All right, let's go to Boomtown, baby. But I mean, like, seriously. Oh my God. But no, we need those points on the West Coast. We need those points. We need the Big Sky. We need the Pac-12. We need the Pac-2, whatever you want to call it. I don't care if it's like sliced off in another conference to try to just get P5, which, I mean, it doesn't fucking matter, whatever the committee selects or whatever. Just, we need like good teams on the West Coast that you respect, that you stay up late to watch. And this was one of these games. No matter what time this game started, you were going to stay up late to watch. I will note that this turf was shit.
Mm-hmm.
This turf sucked. I don't know how the Raiders play on it.
don't.
They don't.
They
don't,
don't,
Field
right?
West.
That's right.
No,
They don't-
'cause
They don't. They play on actual
field
grass.
and
Yeah.
they swap this in for UNLV and everyone else.
Yeah, so they get the shit grass for college football. Thank you so much. They need to spend more at the Luxor to get more points, to get the good grass in Allegiant Stadium, the Roomba, to get the good stuff for the Pac-12 championship.
On Saturday, we had some interesting moments in that. The first one I'll say, I have very little to say, is that Texas did the thing. And I'm just happy they did. Like, that just makes me happy because this is a game that they would have like just absolutely tripped on at some point in the past, and they didn't.
Signs are pointing to Texas back.
Oh,
Texas, after the Kansas State game, which I know was late in the season, but still worth noting, that was the point in which I was like, oh, okay, Texas is actually going to do this. And they have. And kudos to them.
I'm torn here because as a nominal Texas fan, part of me was like already ready in my mind being like, they're not going to get in the playoffs and that's fine. They're going to win a Euro 6 Bowl and they're going to win it and it's going to be a great end of the season. Like, check mark. Like the year they beat Georgia in the Sugar Bowl, check mark. Felt great. Loved it. Wonderful season. But now there's playoff expectations. And now it's like, oh, we might, oh God, it's wrapped up in other shit. I was mentally ready for like,
Hey, guess
we're
what?
going to the Fiesta Bowl, baby.
Guess what? You better remember the Alamo Bowl because that's what happened last year.
I just wanted to shout out Devondre Sweat because him
Yes!
catching that pass was
Dude.
amazing.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Hey.
We love a thick six.
I gotta vote for like these weird like linemen and like kickers awards because I joined the Football Writers
Outland?
Association. Is it the Outland? Is what it is?
The Outlands, the interior interior line.
Yeah. So Devondre already had my vote. If I could vote again, he would get it again. Just for that
So good.
catch and then the Heisman pose. Beautiful.
So good.
Amazing. I did want to note that Mike Gundy's hair was amazing.
Yeah.
Mike Gundy's like mullet was back, baby. Kind of like Texas. But Mike Gundy's hair was phenomenal. It was great. He was yelling about a pass interference call that didn't happen, and the mullet was just flowing in Jerry world. It was beautiful. It almost looked like a Jerry curl.
We did have two of our folks at the MAC title game where Miami beat Toledo 23-14, avenging their loss from earlier in the season. I do have some notes from them. Best part was that our young junior reporters met the man, the legend, Alec Bevelheimer.
Woohoo!
What more do you
amazing.
want?
I mean, dude, you could meet a punter by the name of Bevelheimer, and that's what we do is we bevel images on the timeline. Just, I mean, amazing. And apparently he follows us. So shout
he does
out
now.
Alec Bevelheimer. Again, we get like a hive of punters that follow us, along with
Teams loves us.
Pro Kick Australia. What
Yep.
the hell, man? We love it. It's a part of the game that is underappreciated, and we understand what it means because sometimes, hey, you're gonna go 3-and-out, and your punter's gonna boom a 56-yarder to drop the Rockets down inside the 10-yard line, and just again, Miami's working with a backup QB. Like their starting QB broke his leg against Toledo.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like revenge for the injury that they caused to their QB. This is almost like a John Wick moment for the Red Hawks.
I will read our notes from Joey and Chicken Sedan. At one point, I think Toledo scored, missed the PAT, penalty on Ohio, went for it, and got it. Yep, halftime score was 10-8. And then there were penalties on like 2 of the 3s of the plays before that TD. Two other on Toledo. TDs got called back right before they scored. The PAT was just on a bad snap, but offsides negated. That one touchdown extra point moment took like 20 plays. Toledo got into the end zone like 2 times before it counted. It was that whole day felt like that's what Toledo was like fighting against. The second TD Toledo scored, they got a penalty on the 2-point attempt for 5 in the backfield and then missed the kick. In the post-game, Coach Candle mentioned that they chose the left hash for the 2-pointer and ended up having to kick from there, missing wide left. Overall impressions, Miami won with the stifling D and dominating every special teams category, including a great run back on a punt return. Toledo fit capable of home runs, but Daquan Finn could never get a clean look. That's it. Also game that went on, Boise State with their interim head coach, now permanent, 44, UNLV 20. Boise just held them down.
Yeah.
It was not even like never in question on this one.
It was like
Boise looked great.
It was the Boise that was promised this year actually finally arrived.
Like the proof of concept of what they wanted to do.
Like, I mean, seriously, like UNLV was like floating this entire year. Yeah, they lost to San Jose State. The computers allowed UNLV in this title game. They had essentially a home field advantage here in the Ruma, but like Boise was just like, it felt like, I know you giving the Texas is back, but it kind of felt like Boise was back here.
Mm-hmm.
Pitt Girl, I got a fun bowl game for you for this one.
Yeah.
UNLV in Kansas.
Ooh.
Right? This is
that's fun.
at the Guaranteed Rate Bowl, which is one of the Arizona ones, I believe.
Yes, I think so.
Or is that
That's
the
nice.
Birmingham one?
Guaranteed Rate Bowl, I think, is a baseball field where the Diamondbacks, the World
Yes,
Series.
it's a Chase field.
Wait, no, the World Series champions. No, the National League champions.
Yeah,
Diamondbacks.
careful there, buddy.
Careful there. Who are the American League champions? I forgot. The Rangers? Okay. I'm
Something like
sorry. I
that.
forgot about that.
Then, of
I'm
course,
a Pirates fan. I don't pay attention to baseball.
Yeah.
in
What's the
October.
World Series?
What's
I was about to say,
the World
yeah.
Series?
I was going to say, yeah.
1979, baby. We are family. I am not that old.
We
by
are,
the
in
way.
fact, family.
I am not that old, by the way. I was not alive when that happened.
In the American title game, Tulane officially fucked around and found out. This Tulane scores off SMU gets the ball first. Turnover. Tulane scores immediately. Yeah, this feels great. This is going to roll. And then nothing.
Yeah.
Just
Tulane's. I watched this entire game again, except for like the last 5 minutes. Right. Tulane's defense was doing like hero shit.
Yeah.
This whole game to keep them in the game.
Yeah.
And the offense just couldn't
three
do
and out.
anything.
Three and out.
The-
Three interceptions for the Tulane defense.
I feel like Tulane's offensive line was a mass unit. There was nobody there, which is like, again, you're in the G5. You're not going to have offensive line depth. And Tulane was banged up. At one point in the season, they're down to their 4th string wide receiver.
Yep.
They got some of them back, but like they could not keep Pratt upright, and Pratt is not 100% either. And I'm not taking away anything from SMU.
No, not at all.
They put it on Tulane, and like this is kind of like the American rivalry. And since SMU is now going to the ACC, but like these teams when they play each other, it was like 15-14. This is a rivalry game. They hate each other. It's New Orleans to Dallas. It's 9 hours away. It is like a straight shot, essentially on interstates, and like SMU. Shout out SMU. First conference title since what, 1984?
Since after the death penalty.
Since Georgia Orwell.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the uniform reveal for SMU?
No.
I'm dropping it in the chat.
The beignets, baby.
Oh wait, no, yeah, I did see that.
Yeah,
Never mind. I remember
with
now.
white powder.
Just white powder everywhere.
That's right.
Yep.
Oh wow!
I always thought that was more of a Miami thing.
No, that was
No, no.
SMU is so coke fueled.
Let me tell you. Yeah,
It's the best. It's one of SMU's players blowing the powder sugar off a beignet and just a cloud of white powder. Oh, it's so good.
But it is funny because SMU and Tulane are, essentially the same school. So a rivalry had to exist between the two.
Yeah, both small private schools.
Small private schools and kind of like big southern cities.
Same clientele, if you would.
Same clientele, yes. I mean, I'm looking at like the first picture that you dropped in the chat. It kind of does look like Cafe Du Monde because there is like the archway behind him. And so it could be Cafe Du Monde. I'm not 100% sure. If you're playing at Ullman, you probably
the tables
wind up at
the
Morning
mug
Call
right.
a little bit better.
Yeah.
Morning Call is probably got better beignets than Cafe Du Monde.
Ooh.
Yeah,
coffee.
But just worth noting,
with the
Cafe
chicory?
Du Monde is one of Cafe Du Monde is one of the rare tourist traps though, where like the food is actually pretty good. Like,
No,
you're not
it's
gonna have
like
bad
a tourist
Cafe
trap
Du
that
Monde.
is like legit. It is like a tourist trap that is absolutely. And again, if you go to Cafe Du Monde, again, we're not like tourists, whatever. If you go there, it is worth it. It is worth going there. The coffee is amazing. Bring cash. They don't take credit. And Jackson Square is right there. But it kind of seemed like the photo shoot could have been at Morning Call in City Park, but I'm not 100% sure.
I don't think we need to talk about the SEC title game besides saying Alabama 27, Georgia 24, and I felt like it was out of Georgia's hands for most of the game. Like, I hadn't seen Georgia be put back on their heels for that. Go ahead, Catherine. You're the one that watched this.
Do it, Catherine. You are the SEC honk on this podcast.
No, I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it real short, real sweet. Georgia had one amazing drive, and I was like, "Oh man, no one does this to Alabama's defense." And then Alabama's defense was like, "Hey, no one does this to us." And then they stopped it, and then they just kept knocking Georgia players out as happens. And Alabama won. We're done.
There you go. And no alcohol for the plebs at Mercedes-Benz. That's
This is evidently like an obscure SEC conference rule too, which is dumb but also spiritually correct, because I had a very nice, very reasonably priced, because it was at Mercedes-Benz, craft beer when I was there for the 2021 Peach Bowl. It was like $6. It was great.
No, the concessions in Mercedes-Benz at the stadium in Atlanta are very reasonably priced. Like everything is reasonably priced there. They do that on purpose, which is strange.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I didn't really watch too much of this game because it doesn't really interest me. I'm like, okay, whatever happens here. I'm like, Georgia's going, I mean, they found a way for Alabama to get in. There's a Chick-fil-A there.
If you want me to give actual breakdown, I can. But
no, we don't need to.
I just don't.
We're good. I don't care.
Yeah, that's what I
it's
figured,
just like,
guys. Yeah.
They're in the playoff. It's just like, I mean, you do that on the your vertical, right? They
I mean, like that.
If they want to,
right?
I
live blog. Yeah, hey, subscribe to The Athletic. Look,
there you go.
We have very good national writers for the biggest games. We do live blogs. Folks like Nicole Auerbach, Chris Vanini. If you like the G5, go to The Athletic just for Chris Vanini's breakdowns. And so he's very good at it. But yeah, so I watched this game. I could say more on it. I will note that I distinctly recall having a Miller Lite when I went to the SC Championship game in 2019. Just saying.
Miller Lite. Ooh.
You were because you weren't down with the plebs. You were up with the elite money.
No.
I assume.
No, certainly not. I am
Great.
salt of
That's
the earth.
Philly.
Excusez-moi.
That's what they all say. They're salt of the earth, and then up there
Ah.
drinking your Miller Lite with your pinky out, looking down upon everyone else.
I mean, I don't think
No.
Catherine's from like the uppity section of Louisiana. I don't think so. Wait,
I'm
We're
having
all
G's
going to
phone
Brennan's,
data
baby.
because
we're all going to where?
My grandfather was a waiter at
Brennan's.
Brennan's at one point.
Brennan. Okay, we're going to
Yeah, so he knows how to make a banana Foster, but
That's right.
yeah, no.
That kid on fire.
Yeah, suffice to say, no. I just got an illicit Miller Lite. Who's to say? Carry on.
An illicit Miller Lite. I love
Well,
it.
Do crimes.
For $2 though, you could get beers at App State 23, Troy 49.
Oh my god.
Woohoo!
John Summerall his get back coaches were not doing enough because he had his whole ass on the field screaming at people the entire game.
Look, no, man, this game was like intense.
Yes.
And it was intense, right? So this game was
like veins popping out of people's foreheads.
It was like 21-17, and he just like loses his shit in the third quarter, just going insane, like veins popping out of his neck, like just going nuts. He's doing the face mask, like you missed the face mask on my quarterback Gunnar Watson, and he's just going insane. And it's like another. I don't even think in the G5 you have an official get back coach. It was kind of like, maybe like a defensive.
Everyone's reaching out trying to grab him. Yeah,
there was a couple,
coach.
but like a straight, like somebody tried to grab him. He went nuts. And then as soon as he went insane after that, and they missed the face mask, there was a face mask. It wasn't crazy egregious. It wasn't like rip the helmet off face mask. Like he touched his face mask. That's fine. Whatever. They went off. Troy went off. Kamani Vidal went the hell off in the fourth quarter. 5 touchdowns on the game. 26 carries, 233 yards for Troy. Just, my God. Troy just put it on App State. Like, it was a game. It was 21-17 going into the fourth, and then, like, Troy just exploded.
Troy just laid it on.
They were just like, no. As soon as he went nuts on the sideline, like, the team, like, responded. So, Tulane, I recommend this. You want the angry wave? He brings the angry wave of energy.
Florida A&M in the SWAC championship game, Florida A&M 35, Prairie View 14. This was rain delayed about 4 times in Tallahassee because Tallahassee had like sheets of rain and lightning coming through.
It was nuts.
Florida A&M advances to the Celebration Bowl for the first time in program history.
Amazing.
Yeah, no, that's great for them. I was paying attention to this game, and then it got like delayed, and I had to go to the NCAA volleyball tournament. But I was very happy to see Florida A&M win because I did the Spotify Wrapped thing. I do it every year, right? But like this past year, they had a thing where it tells you like what location are you based on your music, and I got Tallahassee. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go all in on rooting for Florida A&M. I'm gonna go in on rooting for Florida State, and one part of that day went okay. Saturday, from that perspective, was great, and that evening I was having a good time, and it hasn't been a great day today, but yeah, I get Tallahassee in my Spotify Wrapped, and teams based in Tallahassee did go 2 for 2 in winning conference championships on Saturday.
Is UVM in Burlington?
Yes.
Oh, hey. So my Spotify Wrapped team also did something good and cool this weekend. To briefly derail the podcast, Vermont. Yeah, implying we ever have rails. But Vermont's men's basketball team overcame a 5-point deficit in 3.8 seconds to beat Yale last night, and it was amazing. Go watch the clip on our basketball account. 10 out of 10. Go Catamounts.
Yeah, I wanted to say one other thing too. If you want to mention the Spotify Wrapped, Arthur. Yeah, apparently my weird Spotify tastes. I got Austin, Texas. So apparently Texas is back, according to the Commish.
I got Fredericton, Canada. Anybody have any thoughts?
We're talking about the CFL. This is a big CFL podcast. Fredericton, Canada? Where is that at?
So that is in, I believe, is it New Brunswick?
So
what
you're
artists
Yeah,
gave
it's
you
New-
Fredericton, Canada?
Fredericton.
Patsy Cline, Dolly Parton, and I think Linda Ronstadt.
Hmm.
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 Fredericton is the capital city of the Canadian province of New Brunswick.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, there you go.
New Brunswick. That's like way out. There's no CFL team out there.
No,
No CFL.
I was trying to figure out if maybe like one of those teams from Shoresy, like the smaller Canadian hockey leagues, was up there.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's all I got. But I figured, shout out Fredericton.
No, there's
A.
I just put their flag into the chat
Fredericton. Ooh,
because
that's
if,
nice.
if we know nothing else, we know we love some vexillology.
There's a
Oh,
tree.
that's a real good seal on a bedsheet.
That is definitely good stuff right there. At least it's not Newfoundland, where Jordan can talk trash about Newfoundland. The Newfies, he hates the Newfies. I don't know why he does. He just does it. But no, this is New Brunswick, really close to Maine, so not too far away from Maine.
Oh my gosh, is it Acadia? Am I just that Cajun?
You may be. I mean, I don't know. It's very close to Maine.
Wow,
You are incredibly Cajun.
my ancestral home.
Your ancestral home, which is Canada, which is amazing.
Yes.
It's fantastic.
It is. Yes, it is Acadian.
Let's freaking go.
Let's go.
That's it. We found it. Oh man, that's so exciting. I really am so fired up now. All right. Fantastic.
Wikipedia also informs me that there are no professional sports teams in Fredericton, but there are 2 universities with extensive athletic programs. The
Ooh.
UNB Reds play in Atlantic University Sports Conference of U Sports, and the St. Thomas Tommies play in the Atlantic Collegiate Athletic Association Conference of the Canadian Collegiate Athletic Association
The
for
Tommies-
most sports.
The Tommies were in the playoffs of the U Sports, I think, right, for the national title. I don't have no idea, but you're going to be. We need to get our Canadian correspondent Joey up in here for more Canadian questions for that.
Yes.
So moving on to the ACC title game, it was third stringer Florida State
Brock Glenn
versus the first stringer Jack Plummer, Louisville, 16-6, which I'm gonna be honest here as the commissioner, I really didn't watch too much of this because Iowa was on.
You were the only person
I was
to
like,
have ever
no,
said that sentence.
Let's go. Iowa's on. I gotta know what's going on. Iowa was on. So I didn't really watch too much of the ACC title game because again, Iowa was on. There's like a golf thing, an indoor golf thing. I had to monitor the situation to see when Iowa was going to score, but I did not watch much of the ACC title game.
Win was not the correct word to use when regarding Iowa scoring.
They got close.
In fact, not.
They got close, but then they fumbled on the 29, which that's some bullshit. Iowa, you got to hold on to the ball. You could have got a field goal.
Well, then if I'll take a moment then and just say, Braden Fisk, thank you for your contributions to college football. Jared Verse, thank you for turning down likely a first-round draft pick slot to come back and play for Florida State. You deserved better. You played outstanding for 2 years coming from Albany, and thank you for your contribution to college football. Kalen DeLoach, thank you. Florida State's defense played, when I say out of their minds, you cannot emphasize enough it very much felt like, the 9-6 LSU Alabama game with fewer missed field goals, where I was just watching and I was like, oh, they are just not going to lose this game. Everybody in the college football committee room wanted them to lose that game, and they said, nah, fam, we're not going to do that.
And then the committee decided that they basically did lose that game.
Yeah, the committee was like, it seemed like the committee already had their mind made up, looking at this one.
I mean, I hate that too for Florida State. Like, obviously, like it sucks in general that they are not in the college football invitational, but they played so well defensively this game, and yes. I hate that how well they played in this game it gets overshadowed because it was legitimately like every single play. It felt like by the time the ball was snapped, like they were already in the backfield. I mean, they were not giving an inch in terms of just domination. I mean, look at in the fourth quarter, right? When it came down to crunch time, look at like the plays that ran. I mean, you don't even have to like watch them, just like look at the summaries. Louisville's quarterback had no time to throw ever, constantly getting hit. Like it was just, I mean, it was some of the best defense I've ever seen.
This is sort of a half-formed thought, but I think there is something to be said also about there being different sets of expectations about what teams will or should look like. And Florida State is expected to be flashy and have style points, and they did not do that last night. But you know, if Michigan had won their game in this fashion, we would all be talking about how great Michigan is.
I mean,
Florida State's not in the Big Ten.
But we
as close
Yeah.
as you can get to a flashy defensive line. That was Florida State on Saturday night.
Yep.
Look, I have latent Miami Hurricane fan in me because my mom is from, Pembroke Pines. It just grew up in Key West or Hialeah, Florida. Like it sucks. Like I have to be empathetic with Florida State. I don't want to. We're probably gonna get Katie on the show, our Florida State.
Let her calm down for a bit before we have her
We're gonna get her on
We'll
Tuesday.
have Katie Therapy Hour.
Katie
later.
Therapy Hour. We're gonna get her on Tuesday, and it'll come out Thursday. But we'll get her there. But really, Florida State had more yards of offense than Michigan did against Iowa.
Bullcorn.
And of course, Michigan 26, Iowa 0. That was I was hoping maybe Brian Ferentz like, oh, ka-chow, check out the cards I've been holding under my sleeves. Wham, oh, fire, oh, there's tricks. No, man.
No.
It was just more of the same.
Look. There was one point, there was a drive that like Iowa threw a pass and they gained 7 yards. And then they like ran the ball to get a first down, and then I was like 10 yards, and then it was like run. And it was just like, dude, you just saw what happened. The pass did right. You got 7 yards on first down, and it put you in an advantageous 2nd and 3, and then you just ran the ball and you got your 3 yards. Then you got a first down. Then you were like run. They got like 2 yards, and then that was it. And they punted to their MVP, Torrey Taylor. Shout out to the X-Golf in Cedar Rapids, who had a promotion offering free beer until Iowa scored or the game ended. We hope everybody survived, which I actually called them twice. But Spencer Hall of the Fullcast After Dark got through, and they said kegs were still rolling in. I got like the phone cannot be answered at this time, so I was really worried.
Because they were partying.
No, but because I was worried, but then I saw Spencer's tweet that he got through. So it's like, oh, okay, I guess I was just
afraid they got all 28 days later. Like
I was worried. Apparently you had to buy the bay first, so you got to rent the bay, and there's like free beer or whatever. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. You rent the bay, you make the money back, probably on like some spinach and artichoke dip or whatever you eating, blooming onions while you're trying to hit some indoor golf balls. Which I'm sure after a little bit of time, you could not hit anything straight in an indoor golf bay.
I'll post this video later, but I do want to shout out this guy. His name is Cohen Intringer, number 4 for Iowa. He's a freshman redshirt DB. He was the first guy down the field on the big Michigan. It was 3-0, and Michigan gets a big punt return. And not only is this dude the first guy down the field, he misses the tackle, but he's also the one that chases the Michigan guy down on the other end of the field. Dude covered like 150 yards in this play.
Yeah.
And saved the touchdown.
He did.
Like one of the most capital E effort plays I have seen in a long time. I need to say thank you to Josh Rudd, who is an independent journalist and posted a video with an arrow marking this dude. Because I don't think people realized that it was the same guy.
Then dude, I missed the tackle off the beginning. Yeah. Amazing
and
effort.
chased him down.
Unfortunately, Michigan scored a touchdown. So his effort.
No one cares about that part. God.
I'm sorry. Whatever.
Yeah, sorry, Marley. Sorry, the dog dies in Marley and Me Too. Thanks, Commish. Like, don't.
Shout out to my aunt that made me go see that movie. And I'm just gonna say that around Christmas time they released Marley and Me, and she was just broken up. And my aunt Terry was just. She's like, I didn't know the dog fucking died. Unfortunately, the dog did die, and Iowa did lose this game. Iowa now averages 16.6 points per game. If the season ended today, it would be the first team since 1938, Oklahoma, to win 10 games and score fewer than 17 points per game. Iowa also, shout out Matt Benson, I was also the first Big Ten team to win 10 games in a season and be shut out multiple times in the same season since Chicago. Yeah, that's right. Chicago, the university, not the Bears, and Northwestern both did it in 1903. Also, shout out to Jay. I think it's Cuda, like Barracuda.
Yeah.
Iowa's yards of offense. 2,956 yards of offense. They had 96 in the game tonight, so they finished 3,052 yards of offense, ranked 133rd out of 133. Their yards of punting, 3,766, and they had 353 yards of punting. They finished the year with 4,119 yards of punting, first in all of FBS.
Performance art. We will cover some of our our FCS playoff games.
Oh my god!
First off, Albany 41, Richmond 13. The long-awaited matchup between Poffenbarger and Wickersham.
That's right.
Poffenbarger went the hell off. Albany just ran over the Spiders.
Dude, Wickersham got knocked out of the game. Albany was all over Wickersham. Richmond had to resort to Camden Coleman, Jackson Hardy, and Savon Smith. So Wickersham went out. They had to do 4 QBs. Albany all over. Poffenbarger just all over the place. 170 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Also ran the ball 5 times for 2 TDs, which is incredible. My favorite play that Poffenbarger had was that one of the handoffs fumbled and
and he just ran it in himself.
And he just picked it up, was like, fuck it, I'll do it myself. And then they're up 34 something. It was incredible. It's amazing. Albany going to Moscow next week.
Villanova 45, Youngstown State 28. Hey, imagine good things happening to Villanova in NCAA sports.
Can't believe it.
Furman 26, Chattanooga 7. It was close. Furman ended up pulling away for their lovely win here. Furman now gets to go visit Montana.
Yeah. Welcome from South Carolina all the way to freaking Montana next week. Love it.
A really great game with Sacramento State 24, South Dakota regular 34. There was a stupid score at the end that sealed it for South Dakota. Then we've got Lord have Mercer, South Dakota State 41, Mercer 0. The poor Bears just got obliterated.
Hey, Mercer, forget about what happened this week. You got your first FCS playoff win last week. This game doesn't count.
The game that was the nail biter, North Dakota State 35, Montana State 34. It ended in overtime with a blocked extra point.
Whoo!
I need to show you the picture here. I'm going to post it in the chat because the North Dakota State player who blocked the extra point got his whole damn arm on it, and you can see it right here.
Yeah, his forearm all over this. You can see the laces on his forearm.
He got the laces imprinted on his arm.
Yeah.
Dude, get a tattoo of that.
Exactly what everyone said.
Everybody in the replies was like, get a laces tattoo of this.
It's so good.
Which this, I kind of thought Montana State finally would get rid of their North
I
Dakota
did
State.
too. I did
They
too.
were up 28-21. I'm like, they got this. Finally, the Bobcats can get rid of the Bison bugaboo that they've been dealing with. And then North Dakota State just like goes on a soul-crushing drive and ties it up 28-28. They both scored the touchdown in OT. Montana said, I'm like, go for two. Put them away. Don't try for double OT. Go for two. They scored on their first play in OT. Go for two.
Just
go
do
for
it.
two. Just do it. End it. They didn't. And then this happens. You got somebody's like football laces on somebody's forearm, which is incredible.
Montana 49, Delaware 19 in a driving snowstorm. Just a complete whiteout. Montana crowd shirtless, screaming. Missoula was rocking like you would not believe. And Delaware there were snow safeties. It was everything. They just got manhandled. It like blue feathers outside of a grizzly bear's mouth, basically. Like it was.
Joe Flacco also lost today, so like Delaware's just having
a time. Yeah,
that's right.
Well,
tough time.
I love like. Did you tweet at Delaware? And they were just like the big Pennsylvania thing. And
I corrected their map.
They were like, nah. Like they sent you the 8-ball that said nah.
Yeah, I corrected Delaware's map because they're a rogue province of Pennsylvania. That is the editorial stance of this podcast.
That's
right.
Yep. Has been.
We demand the rogue counties back.
And then Southern Illinois 17, Idaho.
Sorry, that's a very corporate finance joke, but man, Chancery Court of Big Pennsylvania just doesn't have the same. Yeah. No, that's it.
And then, of course, the Salukis of Southern Illinois 17, Idaho 20. The Salukis had this one. They had it until a field goal at the end seals it for Idaho, and Idaho advances. This was in overtime as well.
Oh, man. I was watching this game because, we've kind of shout out to the @Kibbie Dome account. We've kind of repurposed Pac-12 After Dark to Kibbie Dome After Dark.
Oh yeah,
for the Big Sky Bangers portion of the committee's account there. But really, Southern Illinois, they had an 8th-year senior.
Yep.
On the defensive line.
Oh, that's the dream.
Oh my God. Like never graduate.
Years of college.
Look. I know there's other accounts that there's oh no, it's like your 4th transfer. No, stay in college. The real world sucks. Stay in college as long as fucking possible. I don't give a shit. Get a PhD. Get 8 masters. If they keep allowing you to play college football, stay. Don't come to the real world. Keep playing. But yeah, 8th-year senior. They were wreaking havoc on Idaho's line, all over the quarterback for Idaho. I don't even know how the hell they had a punt return that tied the game up. Huge. And then there's a field goal to win it. And then Idaho gets a hand on it and it falls short of the mounted onto the Kibbie Dome wall goalposts. Yep. And then they go to OT, they get an interception, and then they win an OT. This ridiculous win probability graphic is absolutely amazing.
Line goes down.
And
straight down.
Yeah.
And then in the D2 finals, we have this round. We'll have Colorado School of Mines facing Kutztown.
We just talked about this.
I know, it's fine.
He don't remember shit.
Kutztown.
Great. And then Harding and Lenore Rhine. And then in D3, North Central will be playing Wartburg in the semifinals, and Cortland will be playing Randolph-Macon.
Look, in D2, there's going to be a first-time champion.
Yes.
First-time champion. Grand Valley State got taken down by Harding, Colorado Mines. They made the title game, but they've never won it. And then, really Slippery
Lenore
Rock
Ryan
eliminated. Yeah.
I mean, Lenore Rhine beat Valdosta State, who is...
That's right. Who's moving up. And then, really, this is going to be great because there's going to be a first-time champion in D2, which is awesome. It's nice to see a first-time champion. There's 4 teams left, and none of them won the title. It's going to be fun.
Okay, folks, that's all we got for tonight. Catherine, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thanks for just being stupid with us. It's enjoyable.
Oh, what a delight. No, thank you so much for having me.
And folks, we will see you on the other side.